Go. All right, so this week on Tactical Rifleman, we'll be talking about the dance of death. Coming right there.
Hey guys, this week's video is brought to you by Groove Life. They've got this belt. It's the belt that you never have to adjust. It's got the world's most badass buckle, snap shoes, and magnets. It is the most comfortable belt known to man. It's got a 94-year no BS warranty. And then they've got their ring. It's the only breathable ring on the market. It's got grooves in the ring that let air in and moisture out. So comfortable to wear, you forget that you're even wearing it. It's got the same lifetime warranty as the belt. You lose it, you break it, they'll replace it. Groove Life, we appreciate you guys supporting us.
All right, guys. Hey, Instructor Zee here with Tactical Rifleman, and I'm glad to finally be back with you guys in the hot, shitty swamp of fucking Carl's backyard, also called the mosquito lair, also called the dick dungeon. So Carl and I have changed our combat rifle and pistol course just a little bit, added a few drills. We try to grow with the times. We grow as we learn more, right? We see guys explaining things certain ways, and we feel like it resonates with the students better. So we're all about whatever gets you the goods is the way we're gonna do it. So we've added a few things, and one of the things we've added is a little drill we call Dance of Death. So I know it sounds kind of dramatic, but it's just a little play on words, and we're being funny, of course. It's not too crazy, but it involves movement and all the things that we have you normally do with your pistol, including manipulation and marksmanship, and even your rifle too. But then it adds spatial awareness. So some of the fighting components included in this is, of course, that marksmanship, that gun manipulation, which involves safety and trigger, finger awareness and muzzle awareness, all that good stuff. But there's the movement part, which requires you to be stable, give yourself a stable shooting platform, an acceptably stable shooting platform while you're moving so you can get your shot off, but we want you to continue moving without stopping, right? And then within that movement, there's throttle control, because you'll see as we add commands and tell you that you can't fire behind the line of the obstacles that we're gonna use, you'll have to move quickly to get in front or on line of those obstacles so you can engage when it's time to engage based off the stimulus we give you. So, and also spatial awareness is involved, right? So you got all that stuff going on with the gun, you're moving, you're trying to be effective, and you got to know where you are in space. And as you can see, I've got 3 obstacles here. I like to use anywhere from 2 to 4 obstacles. Baseline 3 here, we'll use 2 in classes where we got multiple students. But we set them up in a fashion to where you have to move through them as if they're an obstacle in your living room or wherever, right? And you have to know where you are in space. You can't just walk anywhere you want, because you'll stumble, you'll trip, you'll do something unsafe, you'll put yourself in a bad position. So we force you to change your focal point. So that spatial awareness involves the eyes constantly adjusting to gather information, meaning, where am I in space? Am I through this spot? Moving through here, where's my threat? I know on the range that my target is going to be my threat, so I'm going from this area to that area, back and forth as I move around, still orienting my body towards that threat, coming around whatever obstacle there is. We're using a cone for this situation, back through, and I basically weave through the gaps between each object, right? And you can say, Z, I'm sure Carl's got a bunch of cool shit that you can put around on the range that looks better than this. Well, I actually like having various unique objects, for lack of a better word, to put around on the range to use as obstacles, right? And I also vary the distance between them, and I vary their height and size and shape, right? Because to me, that just forces the student or the shooter to better recognize where he is. Because if I have 3 tall poles or 3 big barrels, it's pretty easy to get into a rhythm and continue to move around those barrels. You see where they are. They're always at the same height. They're the same, I guess the same width, same bulk in general. So you start to be able to gauge that accurately, and get used to the drill too easily. So I want you to see the obstacles that you're going around, and I want them to be more or less, what's the word I'm looking for here? Somebody off camera, Carl, what's the word I'm looking for? I want them to be weird. Yeah, whatever. So weird, I want things sticking out. This has got legs here, that's a little cone, so I can't just pick it up with my peripheral vision very easily. I have to turn my head and look at the cone. And then there's a chair that's a little wide. It's got 4 legs on it, right? And it kind of stands out. It's not so easy just to dodge it like a cone. So I like that aspect of it, drill, and it's not so for it to be so complex. Again, it's just to force the student and the shooter to use their eyes. I want them to see where they are, back to the threat. See where they are, back to the threat, over and over again. So that's it. Marksmanship, the gun manipulation, the movement, and then that spatial awareness that involves shifting your focus from where you are, where your steps are going, where you're moving your body, and where that threat is simultaneously, right? Over and over again. So, and you can add as many shots as you want. You can add whatever stimulus you want. Usually we use the whistle for the command of threat. So on the whistle, you know that there's a threat and you engage when you can, right? Saying if you're behind the barrier, you need to get to a spot where you can engage the target, right? And we want you to keep moving throughout. So a lot of guys end up stopping when they try to engage. The point is to throttle down your movement, slow as you need to be accurate, right? But still continue moving, and then you can pick up the speed as you need to get through the obstacles. That being said, it's a pretty simple drill. What we realize in the classes is that, and we don't start off with this obviously, we teach them, you know, drawing, getting the gun away, engaging from all the different positions or the steps within our draw, shifting from different targets, different engagements, and then we start adding the movement. And what we've seen is, instead of just going in-depth movement, meaning straight to the target, which we do, but we took out moving in width, meaning moving laterally of the target as if you're my target and I'm walking this way, keeping my toes pointed and turning my turret this way. So this kind of involves all of it because it forces you to move your hips and turn, but you're allowed to establish whatever platform is beneficial for you to take those shots while continuing to move. So we feel like this is more applicable to our citizens, our capable citizens out there, right? You're not in a room with a team where you have to walk down a wall necessarily and stay in one sector of the room. And if you are, then you can work on those aspects of gunfighting. But for this is moving around the living room, the kitchen, wherever. I'm just moving around stuff, changing my focus on where I'm at, where they are, and I'm hunting. So let's check it out. We'll try it a little bit. Good to go. So we usually start with the command of shooter ready, stand by, and then we tell them to move. They start moving, they have their gun at the 3 position, some kind of compressed ready position, and they just continue to move through the path. I call it a path because you're going through the gaps and circling around the outsides and coming through, and wait for that command of threat and you engage. And right now we're going to engage 1 shot per command, right? And you continue to move. If you have a malfunction, you fix it while you move. If you have to reload, you fix it while you move and continue the drill, right? Usually what we see with our students is they do about 10 seconds of this and they forgot to breathe because they're thinking about all this stuff going on. So like, and I've experienced that myself. So let's make sure that I'm loaded here. I got enough bullets to play around. Got one in the chamber. My sights are still working there. They're good to go. Let's see if we can do it. In the background, we've got a C-zone piece of steel. It's swinging, so it's loose. It'll give a little bit as we hit it. And we're about 10, 12 yards away from it right now. So you can use whatever you want. I like steel because I don't want to take the time in classes to go check paper when it comes to doing all this stuff and us having to control so many dynamic students, right? So the steel gives immediate feedback, and if I don't hear that I hit it, then I re-engage, right? So it's pretty good. So right now, I'll just have Carl give me the command to move and give me about 10 seconds or 2 runs through, Carl, before you start giving me threats. And this is what we do to the students as well. We let them get used to the movement, see what they're doing with their muzzle, with their trigger finger, making sure that they're doing everything they're supposed to be safe, because we'll have other students to the left and right of them. And then we'll give them the command of threat once we feel like they've got the movement down. So ready?
Shooter ready.
Yeah.
Move.
Heel toe walking, right? Walking around, checking, there's my target. I'm making sure I always kind of turn my hips towards that threat While I'm moving, if I have to slide through, I adjust my hips as needed. Try not to walk backwards. I might sidestep, but I'm trying to orient my hips forward as much as possible. Back through, back to the threat, looking down, checking, back through, back to the threat.
Gotcha.
Back through. These damn glasses are kind of dark, I ain't seeing that sight. Try to move, still moving, negotiating. Coming through, keep moving, going safe. Fingers off the trigger, using this other hand. Oh snap, get through. I'm shooting twice, I can't help it. I feel like I need to shoot him twice. Oh, I got one in my pocket though, Carl, so I'm good. There we go. Feel good with that? All right, so let's see here. Holster safely, check around me. Safe to pick up my mag. It's good to go. So I'm trying to think through all this stuff, and here's the key, guys. There's two outcomes for this drill. Either you get a good, fun drill that involves all those components that we talked about originally, or some guys that are kind of behind and not as good with their marksmanship skills or maybe their weapons manipulation, it starts to open their eyes to what level or skills they need to have to be able to fight with their gun, right? So either way, we'll control them as instructors, make sure everything's safe, but either you're progressing or these guys are just getting, they're getting their eyes open to, this is the bare bones minimum of what you need to be able to do to think that you're gonna be pretty effective with your gun in a gunfight, right? Bare bones minimum, no stress, no opponent, just moving and shooting, right? Negotiating the environment that I'm in. So guys, try this out if you can do it safely, or come to a class and we'll do the drill, right? You can do it, like I said, you can break it down to 2 obstacles, 3 obstacles, 4 obstacles, however busy you wanna make it, it's fine. And then if you're having a hard time, simplify it. 1 shot per engagement, bigger target, right? Just 2 cones versus 2 weird obstacles that, like I was talking about earlier. You can do whatever you want to simplify it or make it more complex. So guys, hopefully you get something out of this. Hopefully you see that, get to this level before you start thinking that you're just gonna carry your gun and just do it and be in a gunfight and do whatever you want. This is, I'm pretty sure Carl and most guys would agree with me, you gotta be able to do this part. Just that part right there. No opponent, no fear, no physiological effects of that fear, stress, right? Just me in the range moving. So appreciate you guys. Thank you for watching the video. We'll have more coming soon. And as we develop new drills or whatever we think is being more beneficial for our students, we'll evolve and we'll bring that stuff to you guys. Best thing to do is go get training in person, right? Don't have to be with us, could be with anybody, right? As long as they're vetted and they're doing safe things, and you know, whatever you do, the critical thinking and check the sources on that. Get some good training, guys. You don't just go out there and practice any old thing, right? Saying that you've seen it on YouTube. You need to know whatever you're building, whatever you're programming into yourself as a system, is it the right thing? Otherwise, you're just programming bad habits, right? So don't just be practicing something if you don't know it's the right thing to practice yet. So reach out to us. Carl does his live streams. I'm easily available online through email or whatever. We got answers for you. We'll do our best, but get to a class, do some real training. Know that you can do what you must with the gun that you carry. Do it safely and effectively. So until next time, hit the bell, subscribe, all that good stuff. Make sure you tune in every Friday. There's gonna be a new video. We love you. See you.
If you like this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, make sure you follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter so you don't miss out on anything.